Happy almost New Year! Uh, yeah, we got a couple hours to go. I'm gonna dip in a little bit to do the celebration, but I figured to get some work done. Worked on the car. My neighbor is having he does a party every year, so I'm gonna go over and celebrate. You can probably hear the fireworks; they're setting some off out there. Hopefully, you're gonna have a good New Year's. Anyway, if you remember earlier, the walk cycle that I had from the motion capture was just really bad. So I'm been kind of working with this, just hand tweening some animations. So right now he's got a bit of a duck walk, but this is far more useful than what we had. So it's a bit fast. I think I'm going to take this to 120, but so a walk cycle should be about 1.5 seconds, depending on how things are going. I'm doing 60 FPS, so this is actually a 1 second cycle, but I'm going to stretch it out to 1.5 seconds. But the general motion is in there. Foot down, foot swing. I gave him a bit of a forward tilt just to give him some purpose. I'm going to want his weight on his... Yeah, he's moving with a purpose here. So I got the legs kind of where I want them. Need to do the hands. So the first hand... was really going to be the forward hand. I think I want that to come down a bit tighter. Okay. I need to capture all of these joints. And actually, I'll just do a quick selection here. Where we go? FK. I'll go here and just hit S to key that. I do want this arm. I haven't really done anything with the shoulder yet. I'll probably just leave that. We'll see. So this arm, I'm going to copy, paste it way back here. Need to get this elbow. I don't have anything set for that particular spot yet. And then when his arm swings back, let's go with geometry will hide. Let's turn geometry back on. So this is one of those where like the arm is swinging back, the torso is still forward, but I want some of that shoulder movement, so let's grab that shoulder. Well, that's unnatural. So this should be the apex of the swing, so that's going to be back. I have this too far forward. That should be back. So down and forward. And as this one comes forward, how far forward is that? Okay. I'm gonna eyeball it. Alright, and so for here, on this particular shoulder, what did I do for this one? This one's +2, 6, 8. On the Y. And then over here, -2204, so out versus in. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I'm going to just copy and paste the value. And then when it's in the back position, there we go. They don't have to be exact, but a little bit of asymmetry is okay. Get this one. So from the front, he's still a bit robotic. Let's see what he is on the side here. Kind of stiff this way. Still like a bit of a machine, but the general motion is there. What am I not doing on the elbow here? This one swings forward. We need a swing back. So right around 45. We need this to swing. How far back is the other arm? Now he has a bit of a power walk, so as he's taking a step forward, he's kind of throwing himself forward. So that hand that comes forward needs to have more of a drive. So I have to consider that into this walk. So like this leg is like pulling. This arm is going to be doing a kind of like a thrust forward. At 15, this arm is kind of bent, this one's kind of down. Nothing here on 15. Elbow bent here, but not on 45. But when I get to 45, it should be similar. Okay. Okay. So some things that need to happen. Right now he's got this tilt. Actually, I don't want to tweak that just yet. I still want that forward tilt. This hip, when this leg is forward, the hip should be in line with that leg, which it is. Hip is shifting. Hip is shifting. Okay. Torso. Not really doing anything. So up here, on this position, he is bent kind of forward, which is fine. The body needs to turn kind of from the waist, but I don't want to do a full hip turn, so I'm going to do it up on this. This leg's forward, but this arm is forward, so I want to do a bit of a twist. Like that. And then here would be a negative version of this. I think I'm going to want a little bit more shoulder into it, so I'll take his upper body control. I don't really have anything set here, but turn that just a smidge. Yeah, get that there. Halfway through, we'll do the opposite. Might need to exaggerate this a little bit more. Seems too subtle. What if I go really extreme on there? Okay, take that. So we got that shoulder throw. Now, your head's kind of like, you ever see a chicken? You move the chicken and the head stays. Our head kind of does the same thing. If you watch a person, our eyes tend to stick where we're looking. So we want the head, and I'll use the neck as the main head control. But the head needs to be looking where the line of sight is. So you can see the head is pointed this way. I'm going to turn the head forward. And then here, it'll be the counter turn. So as he's moving, the head is staying mostly forward. Crap. There we go. Now the head is doing this little sway thing, but that's happening because of the way it's rigged. So here, what I should have done on this for all of the neck joints is I should have done world offsets, but I let them be relative to the joint position, so that it gets a bit of a, see how there's an angle to it? So that means I'm going to have to work that out, which sucks, but if I go to a front view, what I can do is I can have the main bit of the neck controlled here and have the head controlled a bit higher. So on this one, I can take the tilt out of the head. Now he's still a bit mechanical. If we go take a look at, let me save before Maya dies. As he's taken a step forward, you can see where the foot is. His foot sort of swings like a kick. It's doing this, right? So we want to take that out. We want that to still be mostly forward. So right here, I'm going to twist see if I can take that out of the leg here. Copy that and paste it over here. And then when we're forward, I want to take that twist out. There is a little bit of a slide. You can see the grid line here. It slides away. The swing of that should be pretty straight. swing forward looks like it's pretty straight. It's the back motion on the down. So here looks okay. But this one, those kind of sound like gunshots, you know, celebratory gunshots. Just the way it echoes in the background. Now there are some tricks that I can do to make this process a bit easier, but I think I'll do this next leg. So from a forward position, take the twist out. And then back. It's actually not bad, because your feet do different things, you know, if you're pigeon-toed or whatever. But I do want to take this twist out. So that's sweeping around and then sweeping forward. You can see the legs are doing a bit of a swoop. So this is one of those advantages of motion capture. So with the motion capture, it catches all these little nuances that I'm trying to go through and say, okay, this looks a little bit weird, what is it missing? That's the nice thing about motion capture. The downside about motion capture is if there's a lot of noise in it, like the last one was very janky, by the time I strip everything out of it, I've basically done the whole thing over again. So it's like, you gotta pick your battles. So one thing I can try for in a forward stance here, I'm going to swap over to IK. I'm going to get the foot here. Now I went ahead and set up an IKFK match. So there we go. These are for like the knees and stuff. So I can take this, and on the FK I need the left ankle. left ankle. Oops. I meant to detach that. So there is that foot position. Matching rotation probably breaks it, yeah. All I really care about here is that foot is forward. And then I'm going to match its position at 30. So this, let's match with the left ankle. Okay. Now I'll go over here and match. I'm not sure what happened there. So that looks like it's mostly staying forward. Let me see both skeletons. Where's my IK skeleton? That's weird. Alright, I'm going to match the angle here. There seems to be quite a bit of an offset, but it's okay. Part of this is because his hip's way up there. And then for the toe, thought I heard a cat meow. And I was like, oh no. Hope he didn't get hit by a firework. But I was listening to see if I'd hear it again. That's probably 0. So that is set to there. Let's go to the next frame. And this one, we are closer to this. Whoops. Now this particular motion, the whole point of this is to simulate this. So I can use this part of the control for that. Right now though, I'm just matching the positions. And then there is back here. And that should be the same as the front. Huh. I thought I set that to 0. Oh, I did. The issue is, at 30, I didn't set it. And I didn't set it to 0 at the beginning. Looks really weird. But anyway, what I'm doing is this. If I take his hips, I'm going to match that hip with the other one. So pelvis to, where is pelvis? There it is. I'll match the transformations. You can see as I do that, these line up a lot better now. So I'll get that one. I need to go to here. And I will match this one, match that one. You can see as this one's moving, its trajectory is not swinging outward. It's a very straight motion. So I can use that to try to keep the foot locked in position. So I'll get this. Let me hide the body. Geometry, where you at? There you are. That way I can see the bones. And I can overlap them. That's a much better fit. And then back here, when I jump to this one, let's set this to 0. And I'll get this part. There we go. And then this part, I can just like that. Now for the knee. Let's go to here. You can see there's a difference in the knee positions. So for that, listen to my neighbors. I don't think I have to change the trajectory at all. Looks like it's aiming correctly. But to get that same bend, I have to lower the pelvis. So I would have to take the pelvis here and lower it quite a bit more to get that same level of bend. I'm not going to do that just yet, because I'm going to use the pelvis motion to get that impact whenever you're taking a step. That's going to be a good way of doing it. So I'm going to set the other leg up. So this one, let me match, where is the right ankle? At this position, we will match. And if I made this rig better, I could match rotations, but I did not. I did not do a world offset for the FK, so. Okay. So this one, key it. This one, key it. So this. Yeah, so you. And I'll get the toe while I'm here. We'll get those keyed. We'll go up to here and key them. And then at the halfway point, Whoa, we're halfway there. Omega. Here, it's just easier to grab. And that 30, find that right angle, match transforms. This one should be 0. This one they're slightly off because of the depth on the hip. Yeah. So let me grab the pelvis here. There we go. That's pretty good. And then that one's at 0. And those are pretty good. Now the knees are a lot closer in this one. Okay. Pelvis position. I'm going to do that by eyeballing it. So, frame 1. Just trying to match the orientation. And then on this frame, okay, at frame 15. Frame 15, Burger King foot lettuce. Where is the left foot control? Left foot control with the left ankle. Match. I'll get the right ankle and right foot control. Okay, are these mismatched by height? It does not look like it. Looks good there. This one looks good there. This one, that looks messy. Did I match all? Didn't look like I did a match all, but That's a messy foot. Okay. It just looked worse than it was. $45. Let's get where are you at? Where's the foot control? Left foot control. Left foot this time. Cha-cha real smooth. Put this one over here. Whoops, I don't want to be doing both at the same time. There we go. Again, if you build your rig, like if you plan ahead and you build your rig with the two different styles in mind, you can match a little bit cleaner. I did not do that on this rig. I've rebuilt and readjusted this rig several times, so it's just a mess. This one with the right ankle. Match the transforms. Could I go back through and add those in? Yes, I did do that for the hand. A little while ago, went through and I rematched the hand so that it would be better. And I went through and I did a match. I put an offset on the leg, on the ankle that I could match to, but if I recall, it's just a group, and I didn't add it to my selection set. It might be a locator. I may have put a locator on the ankle. But anyway. Let's get the geometry. Okay, so now the IKs are following almost exactly the same path that the FK is taking. Did I save? I think I did, but I'll save just in case. So what I can do with that is I'll get the match out of the way. So let's say I like the X value that I have here. I'll copy the X value. I'll go over to this one, paste in the X value. This one, so now as this moves, it's much more consistent. Right? It's this weird wobble in the leg that your eye catches. Like it, you know, we see the body moving all the time, so when it moves weird, we go, that's not right. So whatever it is in this forward position is what it's going to be in all of these positions. Doesn't look like this updated. It did not. When I pasted those in, I didn't hit enter, so none of those stuck. Like, it doesn't matter really where the leg lands. The leg just can't do something weird in the middle, right? If the leg landed more center, as long as its path from its starting position to its ending position is a consistent arc, it's going to look more natural. The weird wiggle wobble, your brain just picks it out. It's just what happens. Now from here, this doesn't look right. It's because the feet are a bit weird. So you're going to get the most natural look out of your FK because all of your joints are basically rotation oriented, right? It's ball and socket or an arc. And those just have a natural progression. Put my leg up here, you know. Your knee doesn't do this, you know. It's this way always. Your ankle can pivot and your hip can kind of do a little pivot, but there's a natural motion to things. So I set it up with FK, and then I go through and I do some fine tuning with the IK to you know, fix some things that might be weird. But yeah, that's looking a little bit better. I could set him up to do the Naruto run. Here. For fun. Those are not natural, but we'll do it. Naruto run! Hooray! He's going to be pitched a lot more forward, though. Okay. For the hands. These are your hands. These are your hands. This I should be able to match to the control. So, wrist to wrist. Let me make sure that's all I'm selecting. Wrist to wrist. And I think this wrist is okay to match rotation. That one is. This one is broken, if I recall. For the elbow, this elbow is going to match the left elbow FK locator. So match that. And that should be pretty consistent with the other arm. Let's try flipping. So if I flip between, yeah. I feel like my hairline has gone up a bit. So like right here. But you can see the match. So it looks like it's pretty good. What's happening is, oh, that's not working. The body is tilted forward, so it changes the position of that shoulder. Okay, so that arm is there. And then from here, was I matching frame 1? Or is that frame 30? You know what? I'll go to 1 here, and I'll get the control. First, we'll match. And we'll match the rotation. And then we'll get that elbow control, and we'll match that to the elbow control. Okay. So we'll match that. And that. Uh, 15. I don't know if there's anything at 15. I know there is at 30. So we'll match at 30. Left wrist. Here it is. And rotation. And then this one. There we go. And then if I take the hand and the elbow, go to 1 and copy, and then paste on 60. Again, this weirdness is from the shoulder. What does that wrist do? Nothing. I don't do anything with the wrist. So I'm going to go and do this. Let's select all members. I'm going to go to frame 1, make sure that I am keying these positions. That'll ensure that all these controls have something. And then when I go and grab the wrist control, for example, and I'll see an update. Really, though, if nothing changes between two keys, that's called a static key. And you can ignore static keys. He's scratching his butt. Ah, it's bad. It's bad. Sorry. I'm like 5. So from here to here. Let's get that control. And then the wrist match. And then elbow to elbow match. Then we do your wrist. What do we have, 15? Yeah. So that frame 15. This is why you normally freeze the body, like prevent the body from being selected. But it's okay. We'll match that, and then the elbow to the elbow FK. I did not match the rotations on the wrist, but it's probably fine. It's almost time for me to go to the party. I'll save what I've done on this part. I'll do the other arm. Excuse-moi. Right. Right wrist. Where is right wrist? Right wrist right now. Match. I'm not worried about the rotations just because I know the rotations are going to be broken. That should have a world offset. It does. I don't think the wrist has a world offset. Pretty sure that wrist... Yeah, I'm pretty sure the FK... Oh yeah, FK right wrist is busted. Yeah. It should have a world offset, but it does not. Which means that if I try to rotate it, it's gonna break. It'll break spectacularly, but it'll break. Let me go ahead and do the elbows. So elbow to elbow. I'll worry about the wrist later, just because it's going to take more work. We will match transform, and then key it, and then we had 8, match key, 15, match 30, match 37, 45, 60. What had happened on that on the right wrist is it didn't have a key set, so you gotta have at least one key set for auto matching or for auto keying to work. So I had to go through and rematch those. Okay. It's like you're shaking a hand. Put it there. We will save. And then to kind of fix the whole shoulder debacle, that's what this thing is for. So these have to be adjusted. Look. Whee. Could also swivel. Because that's natural. So I'll have to go through and tweak it. Also his head. Oh. Oh, his neck control should be the same. So I don't know why that one's weird. This looks so bizarre. Kind of think his forearms are a little bit long. Alright, I'm going to save it here. I'm going to hop off, go do some New Year stuff, and I'll see you next time. Happy New Year!